on Discord, someone told me and others on the server that MisAnthro slash Zaid Magenta has come back as Diaz Station. There's really nothing else I can say other than the fact that MisAnthro slash Zaid Magenta has come back, and honestly, I pretty much knew this was going to happen, considering that Zaid was in an alliance, not really an alliance some way, but mainly cooperating with Just a Robot to upload 3 of his videos on his channel. But with the allegations against Just a Robot came to light in the last month or two, Zaid demanded him to delete his videos off of his channel, and this is where he ends up uploading his content in a new YouTube channel by starting from scratch. But truth be told, he's just trying everything in his power to get back into his old ways, because regardless of him doing YouTube content, he is still harassing people on Discord from the spring of this year. Granted, it's debatable if he's done doing that, but at the same time, it's a demonstration of how much he hasn't changed, all the while still doing the same thing repeatedly. And with this being a year after he deleted his old YouTube channel, I really don't even have any sympathy towards MisAnthro slash Zaid Magenta. But if he still makes the hate-em video in some other way, and I manage to download the video before he deletes it, I'm still going to make a video out of it, judging of how toxic this person is. I really want to point out that this video being spreading awareness about Zaid returning is mainly on the fact that him starting over would have been something if he actually owned up to his mistakes legitimately and not do them again. But since that he's still doing them, it's really impossible to even see him as the person in the right when some people, mainly his ex-fans from his old YouTube channel, are instantly forgiving him. I need to point this out, that the good that he does pretty much has no credibility whatsoever. And what I mean is the fact that when he completely got exposed last year, it's difficult to take his positives or credibility any more meaningful or valuable. If it wasn't obvious enough, when he was on Jaw's channel, he made 3 videos, and the second video that he made was why Netflix and Cuties Defenders should never be forgiven. And with this being a re-upload, with it being anti-Jaw, I really need to be honest with you. When Jaw uploaded this video, people were criticizing him than Zaid Magenta, which Zaid Magenta wasn't the one that had allegations against him, unlike Jaw. But at the same time, even if I ignore Jaw completely, this video is further proof that Zaid really has nothing else to back up in order to make himself a better person. Yes, he did got Midheart out of an abusive household 6 years ago, along with Leo Convoy helping him out. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be rude or anything or increase the trauma of Midheart, who has a new YouTube name, but when I say that was 6 years ago, it's mainly the fact of the damage of what Zaid caused during those 6 years. Harassing Cartouche, sending death threats, giving Cartouche a panic attack possibly, sending death threats to multiple people in 2023. When people were going against him by sending death threats towards him, it was one thing. Like, the whole situation that he went through in the end of 2021, I forgot the person's name, who came after Minthart, really shows that MisAnthro isn't a terrible person, despite the fact that he did send death threats towards people at that time. But what I mean is the fact that months later, it really feels like that he wants to one-up so many people after gaining the confidence on fighting against the person that harmed his daughter. But at the same time, with that mindset of considering of doing a hate-em video, not really the best idea. And the more I remember this video alone, honestly, I wouldn't even consider remaking a video that centers around a cutie defender having the same opinions that they have back then. Like, MisAnthro did give Black Critic Guy a chance, but at the same time, with the same person having the same opinions, I still wouldn't consider on doing a remake video, because whenever I look at this video, it really feels like that he doesn't really need to prove that he's gonna be better than anyone, because with the credibility that he lost with Minthart cutting ties from him, all the while the situation involving Lyle Convoy and other Senate people were exposed earlier this year, honestly, what else can he gain when it comes to making a remake video? Because the way I see it, it really feels like that he's using the Netflix Cuties film as a shield to shield himself from criticism, because despite the harassment that he did towards other people, he didn't do what Jaw did, nor sexting minors. But at the same time, regardless if that's his main qualities, it doesn't change the fact that people are going to learn about him sending death threats, him still coming back in a other shape or form, and now thinking about this video focusing on him alone, this video is not really needed. And to tell you the truth, regardless of what the damage has been done when it comes to Netflix releasing Cuties 4 years ago, I just want to focus on other stuff on Netflix, because regardless if I'm supporting the network, I'm watching other things aside from the infamous ones. So if you really think that me watching Netflix material is me considered supporting anything of what cutie defenders are, then no, not even close. And to tell you the truth, looking at this thumbnail alone, he is literally trying to prove that pedophiles are far more worse than him, even though it's honestly becoming a lot more irritating that he's just using all this as a shield in order to make him a much more better person by making sure that the death threats, among other things that he caused, isn't in the eyes of his fans. Because I don't even think that he's gonna be able to gain more subscribers in this direction, judging of how he has burned so many bridges, and with the cartoon-she video reaching above 600,000 views, honestly, it's really impossible to consider him as the most moral high ground person, when I stated in my last Lyle Convoy video that the moral values thing is just becoming a lot more repetitive in any shape or form of a person like Zaid would do in order to be better. Because if you ask me, I can't be able to side with him when it comes to this type of material. And it isn't because of pedophilia. It's mainly the fact that it centers around his history, him not improving, him going behind people's backs like Lyle Convoy, and instantly just not learning anything from his past. And to tell you the truth, if he learns something about me when it comes to getting information that is clearly is clearly not how it is, as in mainly viewing me as doing something that is considered horrendous, keep in mind, I don't harm real people when it comes to tweeting people online nor sexting, because as far as I'm concerned, that type of stuff is literally way low of me considering on doing if it was actually legal. And if Zaid is attempting to at least do something in order to expose me, and if he finds different routes in order to expose me, he's gonna get wrong answers. Because if he's gonna instantly try to at least do something of those material and just make up lies and whatnot, and me stating my opinions or defenses or excuses, honestly, I would probably consider him as the most toxic, moral, high ground person ever, because I never wanted to be on the more high ground thing. I may roll in my earlier years, but at this point, with this stuff really causing so much stress towards people, and you end up just getting pushed down rather than being looked down upon, then honestly, there's a reason onto why I refuse to be part of any of this drama whatsoever. Because if anything, the more Zaid does this type of stuff by exposing people, and if he does make an exposed video of this video that I've just uploaded, then honestly, I can't be able to see him as a person who is willing to improve. Because it's getting really, 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 really old to instantly just go back to this person who is still doing the same thing repeatedly. And even if I did send this to other people who are ex-Zaid's friends, then honestly, they will probably just either give up and just let him do his own thing, knowing full well that he's not going to listen. And once he gets into trouble, he will definitely be a lot more exposed, and new information will be revealed to the point that, is it really worth anything on to make yourself better than him? Because, in all honesty, my life is a lot more different than his, despite him having a job. And it's becoming really, really old that him just searching down people's accounts by harassing them and just making fake assumptions about them, and then whenever he finds an assumption, he just ends up turning into something that people really wanted to see, which ends up becoming a lie. I just really feel like that this type of stuff is a demonstration of how deranged Zaid is. If anything, I just seriously want to move forward from this. And if he does make the hate him video, then I'm seriously going to be making a video centering around that entire video if I try. Granted, I do have other projects going on, but if he ever talks about me in that video, honestly, there's a reason onto why I'm making the video of his hate him video public to make people understand. Granted, I'm not going to defend everyone, but at the same time, this is a demonstration on the fact that MisAnthro slash Zaid Magenta is beyond one of the most toxic people on the internet. He refuses to leave, and then when he is back acting like nothing has ever happened, then there's going to be another cartoon-y situation. Except that the person is going to be a different person than cartoon-y. And if it turns out to be a minor, it's going to destroy his credibility on his stance against cuties and pedophilia. Granted, he doesn't sex minors, he never does that, nor is an enabler, but at the same time, there's no point to carry on this whole cuties thing when it's literally the only shield that he has left. Trust me when I say this. Once he gets more attention, old people will find him, will call him out, and this would lead to his third defeat. The first was his exposure from Cartoonshi. The second was him deleting his old channel from last year. And now this. Keep in mind, it's only a matter of time. His channel is 2 weeks old, but hopefully there's a way to showcase of the type of person that he is completely to new people who instantly don't know about his past.